Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Today, I am here for another WIP and chat. If you are new here, welcome. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and chat stands for me because I'm going to be chatting. So feel free to drag out whatever you happen to be working on, whether that's a crafting project or anything else. Or if you want to treat this like a podcast and listen while you do something more active and I chat, please follow along and welcome. So today I'm going to be working on my Sweetie kit from Oroloa. So it's been a week, y'all, and I just haven't been working through this one as quickly as I would like. So I picked this one up. I have so many projects that I want to get done, that I want to get finished, that I want to move on to, that I'm this week has just been kind of a crazy week, and dealing with all of the, real life stuff and YouTube stuff and, you know, planning lesson stuff and family stuff and health stuff. And it's just been kind of crazy. And I'm so super duper glad that it is finally the weekend. And I am super duper glad that you are here because you lovely, lovely people have subscribed. And I have reached my 1,000 subscriber goal. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. I am going to be continuing on my YouTube journey, and I hope that you will follow along with me. So I'm working on this Sweetie kit from Oroloa. I have my Bella Art tray. I have my fancy French pen. And I am also going to be using this pen. This is just one that I got off of Amazon that I'm using. It just has the regular tips that came in it. Because this is going to kind of be my trial pen for when I order new things, so I can look at those. And of course, I have my pretty placer ready for in case I need to place any of these more lovely ABs. So, yeah, I'm just going to dive in. So, it's been a week, you guys. Trying to figure out how all of this works. I hit that 1,000 subscriber goal, and then it was okay, a lot of hurry up and wait, which is kind of funny because you spend all this time working and waiting to get to that goal, and then you get there. And so I've had to verify that I am an actual real live breathing person no more than 3 different ways so far, coming up on 4, which is kind of crazy to me. So, but I'm jumping through the hoops, and hopefully we'll get where I need to go. So, thank you all so much for that. It's been, well, I think I started this channel in March of this year, and it is October, so what is that, 7 months of me kind of working. And when you first start out, you feel like nobody is going to be paying any attention. And excuse me 1 minute, because I've just realized that while I have turned my phone off, I have not set up my timer for myself so that I can keep track of how long I'm chit-chatting, because you guys will need a break, and so will my voice probably. So, okay, so I've got that going. So anyway, it's a lot of work initially to try and get everything set up and to try and figure out what you're doing, and there's a huge learning curve sometimes. And so, yeah, I'm just extremely grateful. There were days that I wasn't sure I would ever make it to this point, but it's been amazing, and I'm so super grateful. Like I said, one of my goals in doing this was to have a way to make some income for myself that was location independent, that I could do from pretty much anywhere. So to see that goal be achieved has been amazing. And, I also hope that I'm setting a good example for my kids that, there's, of course, this expectation that you're going to live your life a certain way. But, I think lots of people are kind of reevaluating how they want to live their lives. And um, I know for me, it was not the pandemic, it was a personal incident long before that that kind of made me reevaluate how I thought about things. But I know for certain that the pandemic has caused a lot of people to do the same. And I've had to take a really hard look at what do I want from my life, And do I want to travel? Do I want to make money? Am I focused on things? And I don't want to imply that there's anything wrong with being focused on things. Things are nice, things are great. But I think sometimes people sacrifice things that they really want or don't even take the time to think about what they really want because they're so focused on what they need to do to obtain all the things. I get in arguments with my husband about stuff like that all the time because my husband is very much a um, oh, I don't know what you call it, an electronics nerd, an electronics geek. If there's anything, and he loves Apple. So anytime Apple comes out with anything new, he wants to buy it. And it doesn't matter when he bought the last thing, you know. Oh, there's a new kind of AirPods out. Even though he has AirPods that are perfectly good, well, I want to buy the new ones. He's got an iPhone. Well, the new one's out, so I want to buy a new one. Well, but there's nothing wrong with your old one. So, because for me, I get frustrated that, I think I've mentioned before, my phone is his 3 phones ago iPhone. I mean, it still works. There's nothing wrong with it. So, um, he just wanted the newest one. And while I can appreciate sometimes that, maybe there is some big update that makes the change worthwhile, it rarely is for me, especially for the kind of money that they want you to pay. You know what I mean? Like, I look at some of these things and I'm like, I could buy a car for that, you know? I mean, granted, not a great car, but still a car. And um, it's just insane to me, that things like cell phone have essentially become disposable, which is nuts to me. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like cell phones. I have a cell phone. I use a cell phone. But there are days when I really wish I didn't. There are days when I was like, I wish I just had a landline and people had to call and leave me a message on my answering machine. Or I didn't even have an answering machine. They just had to call, and if I didn't answer, oh well. So, which I suppose in a lot of ways is true for me anyway, because I'm one of those people that if I don't recognize your number on my phone, it doesn't necessarily have to be programmed into my phone, but if I don't recognize your number, I'm not answering it. If it's important, they'll leave me a message. And if it's not important and you don't leave a message, then it wasn't important. So, and my phone is weird anyway. The last probably 3 or 4 months, my phone is convinced no matter what the phone number is that whoever it is calling from Nova Scotia. It will list some town in Nova Scotia. Not always the same town. And I mean, sometimes I can tell from the phone number that it's, a phone number that's local to me. Like it could be my doctor's office calling and it'll say it's a number in Nova Scotia when it's a number down the street. So I don't know what's up with that, but so And I suppose maybe that would be annoying to other people. Maybe that would be a reason to trade in your phone and get a new one. For me, it isn't. I don't get enough phone calls that it matters. I mean, if your children are anything like mine, they don't call, they text because calling is, using a phone as an actual phone is gauche and a faux pas, and no one does that, Mom. So, in case you were wondering, that's what my children have informed me. Phones are for texting and games and social media, which I think I've mentioned before. My kids are not big social media users, so my daughter likes TikTok. My son has no real use for social media, so he's not really on anything. And I really don't have any social media for myself personally. I have social media for the YouTube channel, but for me personally, in fact, I've been thinking about going out and changing that, because when I initially set this up, I started out and I had a page and a group on Facebook. And then I decided that, because I don't personally like Facebook, that I would just, rather than doing the group, I would just do a page and kind of try to keep you guys updated that way. Yeah, that lasted for like maybe 2 months. So if you guys are out looking at my Facebook page, I'm so sorry, because I very rarely go out there and do anything with it. Because I don't like Facebook. I just don't really spend any time on it, personal or otherwise. I don't even have a personal Facebook account. So, so I guess that's a question. I am on Instagram. I prefer Instagram, even though I don't really like it either. Um, I just dislike social media in general. But I'm on Instagram because it's more visual. And for me, for diamond painting, that makes sense. Everybody wants to see the pretty pictures of what you are working on. What does that look like? How do your ABs look? Of course, how straight are your drills? How's your placement? Those kind of things that we all never admit that we look at. And so I like Instagram for that. So if you're trying to find me on social media, Instagram is where I'm at. You can always, of course, email me. My email address is always in the description box on all my videos. That's probably the fastest way to get a hold of me, is email. But I am on Instagram. I try to get on there at least once a day, if not more. And because I follow a bunch of people who do some pretty funny memes and things, so I always got to get my laughing fix. Although today I got my laughing fix from my husband, so I have to thank him for that. He got rid of a pair of pants today because they're too noisy when he walks. And I looked at him like he was crazy when he said that, and he's like, "No, I'm not crazy. Listen." And then he walked back and forth across the room, and I'll be darned if he wasn't right. They sounded like they were very soft cotton pants, which is strange. So like these weren't like stiff, material or anything. And it wasn't, his legs rubbing together. It was just the fabric itself moving as he walked. And it made this ridiculous noise. And he's right. They were way too noisy. I wouldn't have put up with it if they were my pants either. So he ended up getting rid of them. But I haven't laughed so hard in quite a while. So it was entertaining. But I had a busy but good week at school. It really was a regular week for me because I work part-time. Everybody else, school was closed Thursday and Friday. So everybody else got some extra time off. So we used it to kind of clean up and, repair some things and just take down some old stuff in the classroom and put up some new things and stuff like that. I took the opportunity to work several weeks ahead because I pull materials for the teachers. So I took the opportunity to go through some of our boxes and get some things out that I normally probably wouldn't have, except for a couple of months down the road. And so I'm actually feeling pretty caught up and maybe even slightly ahead at the moment. Now, I still have lesson planning to do, but um, I feel like I've bought myself time, whether that's all in my head or not. I at least feel better about it. So that counts for something, right? My physical therapy is going okay. I like my physical therapist, but I think I may have to admit defeat and go in for an MRI, because as much as I've been trying to be really diligent about doing my physical therapy, while things are better, they are still not great. And they are better. I don't want to say that they're not better, but they're not where I want to be. I still have pain when I do certain things. I still have things that I can't do, and that's frustrating. The pain level is better, so that's good. I at least don't feel like I'm in constant pain anymore, because that's very wearing on your psyche. So it has helped. So I'm debating, with myself whether I want to just say, okay, can I have a couple of more weeks or months of physical therapy and see where I end up at, or is this as good as it's going to get without surgical intervention? Because if this is as good as it's going to get, then I've got to do something else, because this is not where I want to be. So, and my husband is having surgery, so he's scheduled for that in a couple of weeks. So that will be fun. He's going to have to be off work for at least a week afterwards. And my husband, unfortunately, works for a company that he doesn't get any sick leave or paid time off. I mean, he can take time off whenever he wants to, basically, but he doesn't get paid. It's almost like being self-employed, um, with the added bonus of you still have a boss that tells you what to do. So, I mean, it's not exactly self-employment. He gets a paycheck from a company, and we have insurance through them, and, all this kind of stuff, but he doesn't get vacation and sick leave and things like that, like most jobs would give you. So basically, we're going to be doing without a paycheck while he's not working, which is fine. It will not, we'll survive. I mean, I don't want to say it's going to be easy, because it's not. We depend on his income, but we'll manage fine. So, and of course, he's full of all of these plans of things that he wants to do. I'm like, I'm pretty sure after you have the surgery, they're going to tell you that you have all of these restrictions. Oh, no, no, I'm going to go do this. And okay, living your dream world. Went to the doctor, and of course, the doctor told him, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Which is going to drive him crazy. My husband is one of those people that he has to have something to do. Like, he can sit and, be on his iPad or his, watch TV or whatever, for a while. But after a while, he gets antsy. He doesn't like to just sit. So we're probably going to be driving each other crazy by the end of the week. I figure it'll be a good test run to see how we're going to do in retirement, because isn't what they always say, you think you have this good relationship, and then suddenly you're around each other 24/7 and you can't stand each other. I mean, we both have our own interests and things, so I don't think that will be an issue, but we'll see how it goes. We already know from him, doing storm work and things like that, that it's always an adjustment. Even when he's only gone for a couple of weeks, you get into a routine without that person being there. And then when they come back, it's not that they're not wanted, it's just that the routine is upset. And then you have to kind of find that routine all over again. So it comes with the territory, and I'm sure I don't have it any worse than many other people, but it's very easy to irritate each other sometimes because of that. So, so we'll see how we do. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Well, oh, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I haven't quite figured out all the ins and outs of everything. Obviously, as I'm going through trying to, once I hit that 1,000 subscriber goal, trying to get things set up. And it's like, okay, I feel sometimes like I fall down a rabbit hole of trying to figure out how I do certain things. It's like, well, you just need to go do this. Okay, well, how do I do that? And, I don't know if it's because I'm older, if I was younger and I had more experience. I don't know if it's a lack of instruction from them. They just assume everyone knows what to do, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. But anyway, I have notifications set up on my YouTube account to be notified when people leave me comments because I think I've said before, I like to respond to all the comments, even if it's just to give it a like or whatever. I like to, give everyone some kind of feedback because I want you to know that I do read the comments. And so I want to be notified when someone leaves them. But I've had several instances lately where either I don't get notified or when I go to look at the comment, it's not there. And sometimes I don't know if it's because like people have themselves removed the comment. Because I know there have been some times where like somebody will leave a comment with a question, and it's a question that I've actually answered in the video. So I don't know if they leave the comment before they get to that point, and then after they realize I've answered the question, then they delete it. That could be some of it, I suppose. Um, but then I was in a different part of YouTube on my little dashboard stuff, and I went, and there's this whole string of comments that are um, some of them almost a month old that I've never seen before. And so I go and look and I'm like, but I never got an email about these. So how I can't respond to them if I don't know they're there. So I don't know if YouTube only sends me a notification for, so long after a video initially posts. I mean, I didn't think that was how it worked, but what do I know? Let me look these over real quick and see if I missed any other Z's. I know there are a couple of symbols I missed. I've got an equal sign right there. I've got a couple of Q's over here, but I think I'm just going to wait until I get to this section to worry about those. I've got that symbol. I think that's the only ones I've missed. Okay, so I can put this color away. So all of that is a long-winded way to say, if you leave a comment and I don't respond, eventually I will get to you. Like I said, I still haven't figured out quite why some, I get notified of really quickly and some I don't, or some I don't get notified of at all, which seems bizarre, but I don't know if that's just a glitch in the matrix every so often. I don't know. So, so there's that. And then because I have hit the 1,000 subscriber goal, I can now have memberships, which is something I'm pondering. I don't know if that's what I want to do or not. There are pluses and minuses in my mind to, well, pros and cons to having them and not having them. I mean, I had been considering whether or not I wanted to set up a Patreon anyway. And the YouTube memberships are kind of like Patreon in that there's different levels and you can set up different perks for each level, et cetera, et cetera. So in that respect, it's the same, and it would be nice to just keep everything in one place. So rather than signing up with yet another platform that I've got to manage and take care of in, all the spare time that I have, I could keep it all to one. The downside for me is trying to figure out what I would offer as perks, you know. Um, so, you know, if I went the membership route, would that be something that you guys were interested in? And what would you like to see as a perk? I mean, YouTube suggestions included video shout outs. So I would have like an end credit thanking people who were members, um, which I had already thought of that as well. So I'm certainly open to that idea. Um, I don't see myself doing lives just because the way my life works, the way my schedule works and everything. Like, I feel like the only time that it would be quiet enough and I would have everything together would be in the middle of the night when I need to be sleeping. So I don't really see myself doing a lot of those, if at all. So I don't want to offer anything tied to, live streaming as a perk. Um, Members only videos was a suggestion. But then I got to thinking, well, what kind of things would I show to members only? Like, what kind of things would you guys like to see as a members only video that I'm not doing on my channel? Um, and I'm trying to think of what some of the other suggestions were. Like when I was looking at Patreon, I make like a lot of the stickers and things that I give away in my random acts of kindness. I like playing around and doing that kind of stuff. So I had initially intended to do something like that, but for YouTube, they really want to keep it something, tied to YouTube, obviously, for reasons. And I'm okay with that. Um, so they don't really want you to do anything physical. But then, what does that look like? So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm certainly open to those because, especially today, my brain is fried and my creative juices are not at optimum. So if you guys have ideas for what you'd like to see for perks or what you've seen, I don't have any YouTube memberships to anybody's channel, so I don't know what other people are doing. Um, Other than I know that there are people who are doing like the super chats and stuff, but again, that's all tied to live chats, which I don't really want to make that one of the perks just because that just doesn't work for how I need to do things. So, I don't know. So, if you guys have any suggestions or things that you would think are interesting, um, community only, membership would get you. I could do members only posts in the community tab. I don't know what I would post about. What do you guys want to hear from me? Um, I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm kind of a boring person, so I don't know what to offer as a perk. That seems like it would be the price of admission, I guess. So, um, anyway, so it's given me lots of things to think about, and I thank you guys again so much for that. When I first started this channel, of course, this was one of my goals, but I don't know that well, it's not that I didn't know that I could achieve it. It's just that I thought it would take me a lot longer. So it's been very gratifying to see that it went as quickly as it did. I know there are other people who did it faster. I know there are other people who are doing it slower, and that's okay. It's not a race, right? There's enough room for all of us. I think people forget that sometimes. Everybody gets so caught up in this is mine, you can't have that, that I kind of feel like, there's room for everybody at the table. Like, well, diamond painting trays, for instance. I mean, I think there's only so many things you can do with a diamond painting tray, right? I mean, essentially, it's a tray to hold drills. It's a bowl, essentially. So, you know, I don't know that there's necessarily a whole lot of innovation I mean, there's some, obviously, but at some point, a tray is a tray is a tray, right? So I always kind of chuckle when I see people, who think that there's no room for anybody else at the table. Like, and that's true for any business. Whether you make diamond painting stuff, whether you make, um, you know, I don't know, cars, whatever. Like, everybody doesn't want to drive the same car, right? So variety is the spice of life. And I think we should just all be kinder to each other. That's what we try to teach our kids at the preschool. We don't just grunt and yell and fuss at people when we don't, something happens that we don't like, or we get frustrated or whatever. You have to be kind of calm and rational and approach things, in an adult way. Unfortunately, not everyone does that, and that's too bad. But kill them with kindness. That's always what I try to do. Although, after I've killed you with kindness, I reserve the right to mute and block you if you've been a jerk, because ain't nobody got time for that, right? I mean, I try very hard to give people the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes people just are disappointing. So, anyway, all of that just to say, again, guys, I say this all the time, just be kind. You don't know what people are going through. So, I mean, again, that doesn't mean that you have to put up with people that are jerks, but okay, I'm getting close to being done with this section, which this canvas is a bit weird because I love the colors. I think the drills are really good up to a point. Most of them are really good, but then occasionally, and it's very hard to tell when they are in the tray, that some of them seem to be just a smidge taller than others. And so when I run my hands over, I'll feel one that's that smidge taller, and I will think, oh, it's sticking up. I don't have it laid down properly. But when I go to press it down, it is all the way down. It just is that much taller that when I run my hands over it, I can't see it with my eye, but I can feel it with my hand. So I've been struggling with that. And I always go over all of mine. When I get done with the section, I will go over it with my rolling pin to kind of make sure that I have everything, pushed down into the glue and everything is kind of all locked in place. So it's not that I have anything moving, but it's just I constantly feel like there's a drill that's like popped up or something. And I guess I could go in and replace those drills, and I'm just too lazy. But once I get it done, then I'm not going to be sitting here running my hand over it anymore. And I figure at that point, I won't care, right? So, but I can't tell if it's just that or if it's that they're popping sometimes. So I'm not far enough along yet in the canvas to kind of decide what's what. So I'll keep you updated as I work. So on to the next item of business, which I'm sure is why most of you are here. And that is my subscriber giveaway. So if you haven't seen the announcement for the giveaway, go watch that first. I'll wait. And then after you've watched it, you will have some of the details for yourself. So here's the way it's going to work. And I'm going to run this pretty much like I've run all of my other giveaways. I am going to open this up when this WIP and Chat video posts on Sunday, which is the 17th. So at 6 a.m. on the 17th, this video will post, it will go live, and you will be able to leave a comment. And this time I'm going to make it super simple. You can leave something else in your comment if you want, but all I'm asking for as an entry into the giveaway is that you leave a comment with your country of residence. So since I'm doing one giveaway for US residents and one for international folks, that way I know which drawing to stick you in. So you do, at the very least, need to leave a comment with your country of residence. If you want to leave additional information in there about ideas for whether memberships is something you would be interested in, what kind of perks you would like to see as a member, etc., etc., please, yes, I would love any and all feedback that you could give me. But all that is required for the giveaway is that you put in your country of residence. I will leave the video will stay up, but I will only take comments that are received from 6 a.m. on the 17th until 6 a.m. on the 18th. And when my new video drops on the 18th at 6 a.m., that will be the cutoff for the giveaway. So you have 24 hours to make your comment and be entered in the giveaway. Now you can only make, well, I suppose you can make a comment more than once if you want to, but only one comment you will only be entered one time in the giveaway. So everybody gets one entry if you leave the comment with at least your country of residence. You can leave other things in the comment if you want, but I at least need to know where you're located because, again, I need to know which giveaway to put you in. So that's it. That's really all there is to it, guys. I'm trying not to make it any more complicated for anybody than it needs to be, because Lord knows I don't need to make things any more complicated for myself. So I'm trying to see if you guys can still see that, or if I need to kind of move things a bit. So I think you can see, I'll just finish this section right here. I don't know if you can see, oh, I don't think you can see, but you can see kind of some of the feathers coming off here. I'm about to reach the chin of this little fella, little girl. Not quite clear on that, but it's very cute, very cartoony, and I love the colors. I love this AB in here, and I'm having a lot of fun with this one. It is a lot of fun, issues with the drills aside. So, oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, I'm so sorry, that 24 hours from 6 a.m. on the 17th to 6 a.m. on the 18th will be the opening for the entry. And then once I have everybody's entry, I will do the drawing and I will announce the winners on the 19th, which is Tuesday? Wednesday. I'm trying to look at my calendar and see. The 17th is Monday. So then I will give you until the 18th. No, the 17th is Sunday. I'll learn my days of the week, I promise. The 17th is Sunday. So you have from Sunday at 6 a.m. until Monday at 6 a.m. to enter. And then that gives me Monday to do the drawing and get everything situated, et cetera, get my video done, edited, posted, and then the winners will be announced on the 19th, which is Tuesday. So hopefully I didn't confuse any of you. All of the information will be down below. So if I've confused you, I apologize. Opens on the 17th at 6 a.m., closes on the 18th at 6 a.m., winners announced on the 19th. Hope that was clear. If not, again, you can go check out the description below and all of the relevant details will be there. So, and we'll see what happens. I went to the post office to mail some more of my random acts of kindness. So if you had signed up for some of those, I haven't forgotten, I promise. I am still sending them out. It just takes me a little bit. I try to do them in batches so that I don't have to make as many trips to the post office. But as I'm sure you are all aware, shipping is weird right now. And so I do the best I can to get them out. I'm not always the fastest at that, but I try to do them in batches, like I said. So I haven't forgotten about you if you signed up and left all of your information. Again, if you sign up for Random Act of Kindness, don't forget to include your zip code, city, state, and zip code if you were in the U.S. If you are outside the U.S., you can still receive a Random Act of Kindness. But make sure that you include your complete mailing address, your postal code, your country, anything else that I might need in order to send you something. Because, of course, not every country does their addresses like we do here in the States. Some of them look very odd to me. So sometimes I can't tell if I actually have a complete address because the system in whatever country is not similar to ours. So I'm not sure if I have all the pertinent pieces of information. So, but make sure you leave all of the pieces. I do know that I've had a handful of people who have signed up from here in the States who basically just give me their street address, no city, no state, no zip. And while I'm pretty good at Googling, pretty sure more than one person lives at 123 Main Street, America. So just make sure you leave the complete address. And yeah, leave a complete address. I still have packages to send out. I am actually going to be making up another batch of packages to go out today or later today, maybe tomorrow. Depends on how long this takes me and all of the other things I still have to do today. But that is at least on my to-do list. I would like to get some more sent out. So it gives me a sense of accomplishment to mark off who I've sent things to, because then I feel like I got something done. Even if I didn't really, it makes me feel better. So, and I have some other filming I need to do today. I need to clean my craft room, you guys. I've cleaned it before, but like I need to do a deep clean where I like move everything and dust and wipe everything down, and it's starting to get to me. So that's probably going to be part of my weekend, which is not my favorite thing, but it's to the point that I need to do it rather than I want to do it. So we'll see how that goes. So I think at this point, guys, I'm going to call this WIP and Chat done. Again, for those of you who were here to find out the information on the giveaway, don't forget to check out the description below. All of the pertinent details will be in the description box. And yeah, you have 24 hours from now until I close the giveaway for entries, and then I will announce the winners to see who is going to be the lucky recipient of those lovely Diamond Art Club goodies. So again, thank you all so much for supporting me and my channel, and I can't thank you enough. So again, guys, before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching.